folks. This is Christian Ballard here at
Let's go. Get on base.
And it is the Christian Ballard Show, everybody. Want to say happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's doing great this morning. Christian Ballard, sports journalist. Um, and we got some interesting stuff to talk about. We're going to have some fun on the show today. We're going to look at and react to Greg McElroy, who is a former Alabama quarterback, ESPN analyst, always doing color commentary for college football. He's kind of on the who's he with? Sean McDonough, or however you say his last name. No disrespect to him. I just can never pronounce it. He's kind of that go-to. He's like Kirk Herbstreit 2.0. He's like the number 2 color analyst, right? Anyway, we'll look at uh his top 10 quarterbacks for 2025, but also, would I fight a gorilla? And for those of you who have followed this trend that's been going around, you get it. You're in the right place. You're like, I got you. And, it's interesting. Like, would I fight a gorilla? Absolutely not. No. Well, I want to look at that last. I think we should go ahead and get into like what Greg McElroy has this morning, like with his top 10 quarterbacks going into the season. And I will admit, I listen to his pod. I love always college football. I love it. He's always doing coaching tiers. He's always doing top 10 lists, top 5, whatever it might be. And I think that's good. I think for the most part he does a really good job with it. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, Greg. I really I don't know. But then there's other days that I'm like, oh, he's actually making sense today. And again, this isn't to bash Greg McElroy or anything like that. Go ahead, put this up. Let's sit back and relax, right? You know, I have not looked. I only saw the title of the article. I have no idea who's in his top 10 quarterbacks. I could probably take a guess because he's always talking about certain quarterbacks, right? Like I'm sure Arch Manning's going to be in there because he's Arch Manning. He's always talking about Klubnik. He he's probably going to talk about John Mateer from where's he from? Is it Wazoo? Hold on. No, he's the he's Oklahoma. He was at Wazoo though. So he's probably going to have John Mateer in there, which John Mateer's good. He is. I want to see where Greg McElroy has him ranked, and we're going to find out together exactly what the top 10 looks like. Okay? So, with that being said, let's dive into it. I will screen share, and because of my browser and everything, it's going to be a MSN.com, not MSNBC. just the Microsoft website, but I want to say this is from like the Athletic or something here. Athlon Sports actually is what it is. It says with multiple former star college quarterbacks now in the NFL, Greg McElroy has revealed his top 10 quarterbacks ahead of the 2025 season. Let's blow this up here. With one surprising admission. I can't wait to see this. The ESPN analyst and former national champion quarterback at Alabama believes his list will upset a lot of people. Providing some clarification, uh, McElroy explained that his rankings are largely based on proven quarterbacks rather than those who may have intriguing potential. I will say that's fair. I feel like personally, let let's talk about that. Okay, if you're going to have a top 10 quarterback list or a running back list or a wide receiver list, you're going to have a top 10 anything with college football positions. They got to be proven players. Now, you could try to talk inexperience on a show, you could try to talk that up. That's fine. I love to do top 10 returning guys. Whether they're going back to the same school or they hit the portal and they transferred, if they got experience, man, like, and it's hard to find 10 returning guys sometimes. It really is. Because guys are always going to go pro, they're going to leave and everything like that. But I I could stand by Greg McElroy when he says that proven quarterbacks rather than those with potential. Like I could back that up a little bit personally from what he had to say. So we get back to this article, and you see a picture of Arch Manning. I'm guessing he's number one here, but I could be wrong. Um, Again, I do love listening to his podcast, and sometimes he brings up the same quarterback every single show. Somehow he finds a way to always bring him up, right? Um, he said, and I quote on Always College Football. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that are mad at this list, but understand there's a few pieces of the evaluation puzzle that we have to kind of put to the side because a lot of people want to project, and I'm great with that. He said on Always College Football. But for you to be a top 10 quarterback without ever having played against a top tier team, it's a little bit tough for me to justify that ranking. Again, I think that's fair because, like, okay, Keelan Russell for Alabama, you can only go off so much. You can only go based off what he's done in high school. Right? That's it. He was at the spring practice scrimmage, which is I'm not even gonna get into that for Alabama, uh but that's all you got to go off of for someone like him. Now he's talented, yeah, we know that. He's gonna be great wherever he ends up and has his college career currently at Alabama, but you can only go off so much for him. Same thing with this guy right here, Arch Manning. But let's see. Uh, McElroy's strategy led to an interesting admission as Texas quarterback Arch Manning was left out of the top 10. Oh, okay. And listed instead as an honorable mention alongside Kevin Jennings of SMU, Taylor Green of Arkansas, Luke Altmaier of Illinois, and Nico Iamaleava of UCLA. All of those guys, let me pause from reading the article and say that, like, I do think all of those guys are talented. I do think Nico's talented too. He's got drama. He went to UCLA, didn't get his money, whatever. But I will admit, with Jennings, Green, Altmaier, and Nico, it's one of those things for me. Like, I mean, I don't see why any of them couldn't crack the top 10. I mean, honorable mentions. I got that makes me curious about the list now. Oh no. Okay. Making the top 10 at the bottom of McElroy's list is Georgia Tech's Haynes King, Florida's DJ Lagway, Baylor's Sawyer Robertson, South Carolina's Lenora Sellers, and Miami's Carson Beck. Kick off the top 5 is kick off the top 5. I think there's some typos in here, but we'll say kicking off the top 5. How about that? Is LSU's Garrett Nussmeier, who's coming off his first season as a starter after waiting behind Heisman Trophy winner Jade Daniels. Nussmeier, a fifth-year senior, threw for 4,052 yards with 32 total touchdowns to 12 interceptions last season. Next up is Drew Aller, who helped lead Penn State to the college football playoff last season. Aller put up career numbers as a junior, totaling 3,327 passing with 30 total touchdowns, 8 interceptions. This is okay. So he's got Nussmeier number 1 then. I'm sure I feel like with this list it might personally it might get weirder as you go down the list, but I could understand putting guys like Nuss and then putting Aller at the top. I could see that. Maybe they're 1A, 1B. I could see where they're probably the 2 most productive, like, returning quarterbacks. McElroy's number 3 quarterback, Sam Levitt, has been largely overlooked despite leading Arizona to its first playoff appearance last season. The former Michigan State transfer threw for 2,885 yards with 29 total touchdowns to 6 interceptions as a sophomore. Okay. Unheralded passer. Another unheralded passer comes in at number 2. Oh, okay. So number 2 is John Mateer, who transferred from Washington State this offseason. A former 3-star recruit, was the only quarterback to record at least 20 passing touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns season. Mateer threw for 3,139 yards, 44 total touchdowns, 7 interceptions as a first-year starter in 2024. Cade Klubnik is this next picture. Is he number 1? Let me see. They didn't exactly list these guys. They just kind of went in and talked about it in this article, which I'm not complaining about how they did it, um, but let's see. Yeah, this is Cade Klubnik. Coming in at McElroy's number 1 quarterback ahead of the 2025 season is Clemson's Cade Klubnik. It took some time for the former 5-star recruit to reach his potential with the Tigers, but last season's ACC championship run and playoff berth paint a promising picture for Klubnik moving forward. And here's the actual list. Klubnik put up career numbers as a junior, throwing for 3,639 yards, 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, while adding 463 yards and 7 scores on the ground and rushing. Okay, so here is Greg McElroy's top 10 quarterbacks entering 2025. Uh, okay. Cade Klubnik, number one. John Mateer of Oklahoma, number two. Sam Levitt, number three. Drew Aller, number four. Gus, Garrett Nussmeyer at number five. Carson Beck at Miami. Lenora Sellers, Sawyer Robertson, G.J. Lagway, and Haynes Cake. Okay. I don't know what to think about this list. I need to do my own top 10 college quarterbacks maybe on our next show. I might. We'll see. McElroy said this is an organic and ever changing ranking, but this is where they're at right now based on what we saw last year, what they might do this year, the pieces around them, the situations that they have, and the growth potential that they have at the position. I like that criteria. The only thing I can't get behind, though, like the pieces around them and the situations they have. I feel like a quarterback, and I'm going to catch a lot of slack for this and blow myself up here, but um, the situation that a quarterback has, and then the talent around them. Well, the coach recruits. The coaches recruit. You get a quarterback, he's not responsible for the talent around him. Now, he can be a leader, yeah, and he can motivate the guys and stuff. But, like, okay, you got to perform as a quarterback. I look at Cade Klubnik at Clemson. He's great. He's a great talent. He was a 5-star out of high school. I forget where he was from, though. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's irrelevant right now. But like Cade Klubnik, 5-star recruit, really talented, the same class as guys like Ty Simpson and all that. But he hasn't shown, at least from a national brand and standpoint, that, hey, I'm a 5-star recruit and I'm really, really good. Okay. Is that his fault? No, I don't think so. I feel like for Cade Klubnik, it's like the talent around him needs to step it up a little bit. I'm not trying to call it like certain names out. He's got some talented guys like Phil Maffa the last couple of years at running back, and I who's that key wide receiver like Antonio Williams. See, I'm having to think. Like they have struggled so much at the wide receiver and tight end position at Clemson the last year or so. It's not like Justin Ross and Hunter Renfro and guys like that from a couple years ago. It's just not. Now, there's nothing wrong necessarily. Like it's not that they don't have the talent, but I feel like that's a side of the ball they need to step it up on this year. And maybe Cade Klubnik could be a household name in college football this year. Like everyone knows who Cade Klubnik is. Oh, that's the guy at Clemson. Why do we know who he is? Because Clemson's a major brand today, regardless of record. Every single year, Dabo Swinney is the head coach there. He's got 2 national titles. He's won the ACC X amount of times. He's made the playoffs. But I say all this to say not because of talent of the quarterback, but I feel like There's been a little bit of a drop off at wide receiver and run game production and stuff that I don't know if it's fair to put Cade Klubnik like he's top 20 for sure. Maybe even top 15. And I could even see a case where he's top 10, but hold on. He had McElroy had Cade Klubnik number one, as the best returning quarterback. I wouldn't go that far. I personally I wouldn't. Top 5, top 10, sure. I don't know who I would go. I still got to do some thinking. I don't see why you can't put Drew Aller because I'm gonna tell you what, we're not talking about who they were in high school. We're talking about who they are today. We're talking about how their teams are today, how they are today, man. Why wouldn't Drew Aller be up there? Why not Lenora Sellers? Why not Nussmeier of LSU number one? I think he got the right guys, but I think that they were in the wrong order necessarily for for this list. And again, let me read off this list that Greg McElroy had. Top 10 college quarterbacks, if you're just joining us or watching this back, entering the 2025 season. Cade Klubnik is his number one college quarterback this year. John Mateer of Oklahoma, number 2. Sam Levitt, Arizona State, number 3. Drew Aller, number 4. Nussmeier of LSU at number 5. Carson Beck of Miami, number 6. Number 7, Lenora Sellers. Sawyer Robertson of Baylor, number 8. DJ Lagway of Florida at 9. And to round out his top 10, Haynes King of Georgia Tech. Again, I don't think it's a bad list. I think he got the names. I feel like the order of which he put them in is a little controversial here. I don't know if he was doing that on purpose or what, but there's it definitely will start some debates and discussion, which I love. I love a good debate. Anyway, we'll probably make this one a little shorter today. We only got a couple people watching. Um, how do I put this? Should we go on to our next topic of conversation? There's this trend going around, and I want to get to it. I really do. What's up, Mayhem? Uh, Mayhem, did we not talk about this on the show the other night? We're fixing to talk about the gorilla thing. I'm going to drop that link, and if anyone wants to call in, you can. But I know Mayhem might want to talk about this for sure. Anyone's welcome to join the show. Click that StreamYard link, be a part of the conversation this morning. Would Ballard fight a gorilla? There's this bizarre, crazy trend going on social media. It's a silverback gorilla versus 100 humans who would win. And I think you got to dive into that and be like, well, it depends on the humans. I like to think of it as uh, like 100 Chuck Norris, 100 of think of the strongest men you know, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, John Cena. You talk about some of these WWE guys out there. What about a silverback gorilla versus the 2011 Alabama defense? Who would win? Courtney Upshaw, looking at you. Yeah. Uh, who else? Reuben Foster wasn't there yet. I'm trying to remember. I know Courtney Upshaw. I'm drawing a blank, man. I mean, you could even go as far as like Jordan Davis and the Georgia defense and stuff, right? But um, but okay, yeah, Dante Hightower, C.J. Mosley, Courtney Upshaw, Dre Kirkpatrick, Daquan Mazie. These are guys that were strong. You had a lot of seniors and juniors on this team, man. Who would fight a gorilla? Would Ballard fight a gorilla? Hell no. 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 I'm not touching that thing. I'm not going to attempt it. He'll knock me out in 3 seconds. But can 100 men fight a gorilla? You think about some of the strongest guys you know. Dwayne Johnson, John Cena, guys like that, Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris could roundhouse kick that thing. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I would not fight a gorilla. Uh, but I mentioned Alabama defense in 2011, which was probably the greatest I've ever seen personally. But like Trey DePriest, Dante Hightower, Courtney Upshaw, Mark Barron, Daquan Menzie, up front with the Josh Chapmans of the world, Dre Kirkpatrick in the backfield and stuff on defense. They were some big guys. They were huge, man. Like there's a lot of guys that um didn't really cut it too far in the NFL, but when they were at Alabama, boy, it was something else. I say all that to say you build a strong wall with that defense. You could probably take this gorilla out, or could you? Because that thing's huge. I don't know, man. We got to go after this gorilla. We got to figure this out. Oh, check this out. I got to react to this video here. Hold on. What's this video they're going to share? Let me mute myself real quick. First, it says me explaining to the reporters how the gorilla cleared 100 men. This is from Trap Biscuit on Twitter.
The nigga swung his body to the side.
Sorry for that language. I was just reacting to it like you guys were, but he's he swung his body to the side. That's funny. I like it. I won't say all of this because it's got some bad language in it, but I think 100 blank could beat one gorilla. Everyone just got to be dedicated to the blank. Look at this. This story is being updated. It's crazy, man. Like everyone is like going at it. Everyone's going at it on Twitter about if they could fight a gorilla or what it would take to take one out. I think it's hilarious, if you ask me. Shoot, I ain't fighting no gorilla. Um, Hopefully the show keeps growing and everything. I know it's early. I've run out of stuff to talk about here. But I want to say thank you to those that tuned in this morning. We talked about Greg McElroy's top 10 quarterbacks. Also, I would not fight the gorilla. Shorter episode today. We'll call it at 30 minutes here. I'm going to get out of here. And yeah, it's yeah. We'll be back Friday. I'm gonna have to come up with some bigger stuff to talk about for sure. I want to keep growing and get better each show. Uh, episode 3 on Friday. Stay tuned. Hit that notification bell. Know when we go live. Know when we post content. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a like. Jesus loves you. God bless, and we'll see you next time here at BSM.
Hey folks, this is Christian Ballard here at